Yeah, so a short introduction. My name is Matt. I am from America, San Francisco, California. I've been studying Korean for the past 2 years, both on my own in America and of course here in Korea. Okay, so when I first came to Korea, what surprised me the most specifically about Seoul was how busy and dynamic of a city it was. The closest thing I've ever been to is being in New York City in the US. However, Seoul is not only slightly bigger, but just far more even fast-paced than that. And so, as someone that personally really enjoys city life, it was awesome for me. Took a bit of getting used to. Originally from California, we have beautiful nature, but our cities just do not compare at all. So I was just most surprised by the faster pace of life here. Very much so. So I first came here a year ago, and during that time, spent a couple months here and loved how connected I felt with the city. I think something that is really underestimated is having cities built around walking. I think when you do that, not only is it healthy and your step count is super high, which I love as someone that cares about health and fitness, but also you feel a lot more connected. It's easier to make friends. You don't feel as isolated sitting in your car, driving around everywhere. And so that alone for me is a huge reason as to why I love being here. I think initially the biggest challenge was simply the language. I had already studied it for a year before I came here. However, studying it on your own and then actually using it in real life is completely different. I got to a point before I even came to where I could have basic conversations and talk to people. And when I was doing Korean lessons with my tutors, I had no problem doing those lessons, mostly in Korean. I came here and was humbled very fast. I couldn't understand anything people were saying and realized I'd need a whole lot more listening practice. And so that, while difficult, as someone that also enjoys studying the language and enjoys learning, has been a good challenge nonetheless. So the thing I enjoy the most is the amount of third spaces. And so that's the concept of which where outside of home and your workplace, you have other places to go. And so like I mentioned before, I think driving creates a bit of a sense of isolation. But if you factor in the fact we're here, not only you're walking a lot, but you have just more places to hang out outside of your house, it's conducive, I think, to a much more social lifestyle. I love how every weekday, if you want, and sometimes you have to be quite disciplined because there's so many fun things to do, but all the time you can go to a cafe, you can go meet friends and go out at night if you want to. You could literally go party every night. And so that is probably the thing that I enjoy the most, is just the sheer variety of places to go at any time. I personally love it, and a big part of that is because I just in general enjoy trying new things. And I think when you are exposed to new cultures, you'll learn a lot about yourself. You will learn things that you never even knew about yourself. As someone that had never lived in a city of this kind of scale, I actually, until last year, didn't even realize this was something that would be such a great fit for me. You don't know what you don't know. And so having these experiences in a new country is really eye-opening, and I think contributes to a more diverse perspective and more open-mindedness in a person. I think the answer to that would be yes, but not often. I believe that inevitably, if you move to or temporarily live in or visit, and I'm doing a place that is inherently less diverse, you are going to feel out of place at times. As a foreigner, you are by definition a minority. It is 95% Korean here. And so, as a place where it is almost entirely Korean, or if you went to Japan or Chile or other countries in which the population has a huge majority, there will be times where you feel out of place. It's not quite your culture or your language yet. But I think that's also a bit of the beauty of it all, is that there is a lot to discover and you do get to be different. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because there's so much to learn and appreciate about being in a new place. I think I changed the way I thought about it is the big thing. So in order to overcome those times in which you feel out of place, looking at it from a point of compassion and understanding about the situation that you're in, I think is the most helpful way. Maybe there's a moment where you feel out of place or experience something unsavory, and a lot of the time that can be attributed maybe to someone else's lack of knowledge about foreigners or their foreign country and whatnot, or really just ignorance. And so I think the best thing to do is to just try not to take too much offense to anything. I think the thing that takes the longest to get used to, and I am still getting used to it, is simply just the cultural differences. There are a lot of little nuances in terms of what would be respectful or fine in your home country may not be okay here. And conversely, there may be things that are fine here that you are really just not used to. And that applies to everything. It applies to your daily life and transportation, applies to friendships, dating, all of that. And so there's so much depth to the culture. And yeah, it's something that I'm still learning now, both via the language and connecting with my native friends that are here. And so I think that almost never ends. It's a bit of a lifelong pursuit, but is quite enjoyable. I think in terms of lifestyle, in Seoul, I love how things are convenient. I remember one time here last year, I got a bit sick and wanted to see a doctor, and I came in and they tell me, oh, it's gonna take a while. I reply, I say, how long? And they come back to me and they say, oh, it will take 1 day for you to make an appointment. And I was shocked. I could not believe that to them, that was a long time or even any kind of delay. I've had plenty of times in the US where, I'm trying to make an appointment, make something happen, and it just takes weeks, if not a month out. And so having that more convenient, faster pace of lifestyle for me has been awesome for Korea. And then I think in terms of the culture, there's just a lot of depth. There's so much in terms of places to see and sites. And I think people are generally very, very respectful. I found everyone to just be extremely helpful and accommodating. And even last year when I spoke very little Korean back then, people would go out of their way to help me find directions or to help me order food from a restaurant. It's these kind of little bits of caring that they show, which I believe is culturally really rich and enjoyable. Absolutely. So life in Korea has very much changed the way I think. And there are a couple facets to that. The first of which is, before this, I had never even considered spending more lengthy amount of times anywhere else, whether that be in my home country in the US, or in Korea or Taiwan or another place. It was really never even a thought to me. I've been very fortunate to grow up in California and I do love it, but being here just completely broadened my perspective on, there is a huge world out there to discover, and you're never going to find the places that you mesh with the most unless you actually get out there and try them. And that was really significant. And then I think also just culturally, I have appreciated a lot how things generally are just more well taken care of, nicer and cleaner out here. And there is a bit of an attitude that is a little more collectivist in supporting one another here that we don't have in a really individualist country like America. There's tons of pros to the individualism as well. I think we have lots of innovation and just wonderful things in America, but our cities are not as beautiful as Seoul, and I think there are good reasons for that. And so that definitely has made me appreciate how other countries think and do things, and realize there are actually a lot of positives that come with that. So what brings me back here specifically is the sense of community. It is very easy to make friends here. Everyone is coming for the same purpose. They are foreigners, whether it be from South America, from the US, or from different parts of Asia, all over the world, who want to study Korean. And so inherently, you have a shared hobby that you can rally around with, discuss, and because of that shared interest, it's super easy to connect with people. I also think by nature of the kind of person that is willing to set their life at home aside and come to a foreign country where they potentially don't speak almost any of the language for some of the students, it requires a personality type that is very open-minded, wants to try new things, and is overall just not going to be kind of a closed-off, monolingual, less interesting person. So you combine interesting people with a very sociable environment, and you naturally just make a ton of friends. And so the social aspect for me has been huge. And then of course, I've already loved studying Korean as a hobby and have plans to hopefully get level 6 on the TOEFL exam and get work level proficiency and fluency. And of course, being here, studying for hours a day, and also being surrounded by Korean in your daily life makes that goal, of course, much easier as well. So what I like the most about the classes here is there is strong attention to detail on the individual. Class sizes are intentionally kept small, and so you get a lot of focused work with your teachers. And in addition to that, of course, they're very consistent. Every weekday, you come in here, you learn, and there is a very sequential set of leveling through grammar and vocabulary and the textbooks we use that make it really easy for you to have objective progress. And I personally enjoy, if there's data or ways to just kind of understand that, hey, I'm moving in the right direction with my studies, that is really helpful. Yes, definitely. So I have been fortunate to talk a lot both with teachers and staff, and that is often one of the most fun parts, is that you can consider a lot of them to not only be staff that work here, but friends while you're here who are willing to go out of their way to be helpful and kind to you. And I've had many moments here, whether I've lost a wallet recently and needed a replacement card ordered, or just need someone to talk to about whatever thing that's going on in Korea. They're always there for you, and that part has actually been a huge highlight throughout my time here. I think my advice to people who are complete newcomers to Korea or to rolling in general is to try everything. It is such an interesting place if you engage with the city here, and thus going out of your way to make friends here, and not only make those friends, but go out with them, go to bar, go to noraebang, go to language exchanges, go hiking, go see the city and do everything you can. If you do that, I think you will make the most of your experience here and make a lot of amazing core memories that you probably won't forget for the rest of your life.